magic continues. In the autumn months, the cycle of all living things seems to be melancholy yet urgent, perhaps reflective and wistful. The river keeps slowly rolling on, and I am simply a spectator to a brief blink in the enormous picture of time. The cool, crisp air of the season is a stark contrast with the heat and humidity of summertime. Warm, penetrating sunshine is now very welcome and deeply appreciated on quiet river floats. In the winter months, with no runoff in the river from farm fields, the river runs pretty clear. The clarity of the stream this fall is not yet February-like, but improving. 150 years of agriculture has ruined the quality of our streams, and I certainly hope it does not take the next 150 years to return them to the way they were. I often ponder what it would be like to paddle clear streams all year, with no topsoil forever wasted by escaping our land. The ceaseless variety of the river lures me back multiple times every season. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus stated, "No man steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." More than 2,000 years later, it's an honor to reinforce this profound statement as much as possible. The shallow water level requires more attention from the canoeist, or the river traveler will be taking the canoe for a walk. A canoe is meant to paddle, not to walk, like a dog. Accurate reading of the stream results in a much more enjoyable trip and a more highly skilled canoeist. Especially interesting is the story of the limestone river floor. Seeing such strange irregularities gives greater understanding of where such a spirited river flow originates. How the solid rock erodes and how the effects of a downed tree affect sand and gravel sedimentation gives one a greater understanding of why the river flows as it does. How and why the fine sand separates into drifts from more coarse gravel and rocks is a mystery. The only constant seems to be change. Imposing but humble lime rock caves, not found on many Iowa streams, silently hold secrets of providing cover for any number of reptiles, birds, and animals, including humans, from the weather elements. The red and gray squirrels' preparations for the pending season are especially animated. Seeking cover with fewer leaves on the trees means only the wise ones will survive. It is always entertaining to observe their skills in a challenging game of hide and seek with a human. Autumn deciduous trees with base colors of green, brown, yellow, and red display a dizzying kaleidoscope of limitless color combinations. From the seat of my canoe, the splashes of color remind me of the myriad of paint swatches at a paint retailer. Every year, I wonder how a single branch in an entirely green ash tree can display its golden yellow fall foliage first. Many varieties of trees and woody shrubs make an invaluable contribution to our environment and well-being. Billions of leaves blanket the fascinating vitality of the flowing water, presenting a novel view rather than on a forest floor or in one's yard. Well, we got pretty leaves on the bottom here again. Look at that. Even more special is when they become waterlogged, gently settling to the riverbed. Their life cycle nearly complete, decomposition is the last step of a critically vital life. The writer and poet Carl Sandburg said it best when he opined, "The fog creeps in on silent cat's feet." On this dew-drenched morning, I crept up to an unwary and unsuspecting doe. With limited safe options, she calmly strolled across the river, flaunting her presence in proud glory, despite the guilt and embarrassment of being caught completely out of her comfort zone. In the fall, adult eagles assume less responsibility in caring for their offspring, but remain nearby to protect and provide as necessary. The next generation has to give up dependence and learn to provide for themselves. The privilege and pleasure of canoeing requires a basic stewardship of the stream. It takes such little effort to gather plastic drink containers, fishing gear, styrofoam, frisbees, balls, fast food containers, and plastic bags, leaving the stream better than you found it and creating a more pleasurable experience for the next river travelers. Organized group river cleanups result in removal of an unbelievable variety of consumer goods and a huge variety of unidentified objects that simply do not belong in the river. Every single eddy invites a canoeist time out to appreciate the leaves slowly falling from above and floating downstream, and to enjoy the distinct aroma of autumn. Spending extended eddy time and contemplating the hastened flow of the stream right beside you is a sobering and natural metaphor for our lives as the world rushes on. Because solitude inspires gratitude, my personal preference is to canoe solo. But when the need to be solitary on the river is satisfied, it is especially fun and necessary to introduce and coach the next generations to canoe. Smiles, confidence, and the feeling of independence on the water is of great satisfaction and deeply appreciated by our now adult children and grandchildren. One can only imagine the places they may go or the sightings and experiences that a beginning paddler may encounter in a lifetime of aquatic adventures. Boy, those ash trees really dropped the last 3-4 days. So this is your guys' second year solo canoeing? 4th of July was our first time. Yep. I didn't realize that was 4th of July weekend.
I remember it was Independence Day.
Cool.
That's how I remember. See, we were so independent. It's on Independence Day.
That's it. That canoe brings on the independence. You can get in your canoe anytime and be free from all your worries.
Well, you mean you don't have to sit in the
We just
canoe
meant that
with
we
Grandpa.
Oh.
Independently canoe.
Another year has escaped mankind, and the river is an accurate parallel to life itself when we learn to just go with the flow. The emotion of awe and the quickening passage of time is more understandable when we realize that the end is just another place to start.